WLOX Law Call, underwritten in the public interest by the law firm of Reeves Mestayer, the attorneys for South Mississippi.
And welcome back to Law Call here on Saturday night. We are live in studio at WLOX and WDAM. So happy to have you, Mestayer. You heard his voice. You knew he was here.
Now he's here.
Now you can see
Thank goodness.
Matthew Mestayer. You got to be on camera before they see you.
Nope.
So,
not really.
Matt, whenever we do an Ask Us Anything show, I can see your energy level spikes. It jumps up. You love personal injury.
I do.
You love helping the people.
I do.
But Ask Us Anything, it's kind of
sure.
your calling, really.
Thank
really
you.
Is.
Well, it is my calling. Thank you, Kenny.
Sure.
No, well, it's summertime. You know, everyone's kind of taking a breather. We're kind of covering a wide swath here. So absolutely, this is a great show for us, one of our favorites to do.
Absolutely.
That way people that have something that they just, that it's in the back of their mind, they wanted to call a lawyer, but by God, they can call me and ask on air, and we can get an answer. So happy to do these kind of shows. It usually means wide open, a lot of great questions, a lot of good information. So very excited to do this.
We're going to start out, though, with the email question of the week. It came in from Tara. Tara, I love this commercial. I love this question because it refers to commercials, and it's really good.
Lawyers on television, I just don't get it.
It is. It's crazy. I see a lot of commercials about injuries caused about certain medications. If I have some symptoms, do I need to call the 1-800 number in the commercial, or could a local lawyer help me out? Great question, Tara. As soon as we saw that one come in this week, said it'd be perfect for the show. Matthew, there is a lot of ground to cover here. What are your thoughts on this one?
Absolutely, and that is a great question because, listen, we all see the same commercials. We all, at night, late at night, usually, 1-800, whatever. The simple fact is, can a local law firm help? Yes, they can, okay? But here's the deal. What you've got to do, when you talk to that local law firm, are they involved in that litigation? Okay,
right.
Number one. And then number two, if they're not heavily involved, will that local law firm make an effort or kind of direct you to another law firm that's in a leadership position? What you want with your case, of course, you want to get the right law firm, okay? And quite frankly, just calling a 1-800 number does not mean you're going to get there. So you've got to kind of get somebody on the inside, somebody who's handling the case, hopefully locally, to then know a little bit about the litigation, because there will be teams and teams of lawyers. If the litigation is so popular that they're running ads in late night TV, Kenny, I can promise you that means there are hundreds of lawyers involved. So which lawyer is the right one for you? What you want is you want a lawyer, or you want a law firm that is in a leadership position in the litigation wherever it's based. All those litigations have a central hub, usually out in the middle, sometimes Louisiana, sometimes all over the country.
Anywhere.
All over the country, but you want to make sure your law firm is kind of running the show.
And let's do some examples. So, for example, if it was termites and some of the termite bonds that have just been disastrous for people here along the Gulf, local attorney can help you out for that one for sure.
Absolutely, can, for sure.
Taxotere, when y'all kind of got involved with Taxotere earlier, that was wasn't that the cancer medication and hair?
It is absolutely. Well, quite frankly, Ken, what I would do, and I know it is our show, but I would encourage folks to call us. There are several firms like us. We do mass tort. We don't do every mass tort, so I promise you, there's stuff on TV that you're seeing. If you call me on Monday, we're not doing that work, but I will help get you where you need to go.
Matt, let me ask you this one.
Ask me anything.
I'm going to ask you right now.
Just go ahead.
As we kind of get ready to get into our break here. Court system post-COVID now. We're a couple months out, depending on your point of view. Mm-hmm. Are things getting back to normal at the courthouse, or is it still kind of jammed up and everybody's trying to find their spot in front of the judge?
The answer is yes and no. Things, it is business as usual, right? So, the delays we had before and the difficulty getting into the courthouse, and how they had the protocols involved, obviously less to zero. But unfortunately, what you have is you have a backlog, right? 2 years of only emergencies or only most critical cases going forward. So what you have is a tremendous backlog. And so honestly, right now, the pace of litigation, the pace of court stuff is just unbelievable. I think, all that time when things couldn't go forward, it's kind of compacted. It's much like a spring. So everybody wants their stuff done now, as we understand. And so the courts are working double time, triple time to kind of get to the backlog. But as you know, it's courts, can be a not slow process, but it's it's due process. There is a process.
There is a process.
There is a process. So
Sure.
there's only so much you can do. So everyone's anxious to get to court, and they do. But the court is doing their job for sure.
I know parking was tight around the George County Courthouse on Thursday and Friday this week.
For
It
sure.
was very tight.
And we have some, particularly in Jackson County. There's an election coming up, and with some new judges, there'll be some fabulous judges we've had over there. Have decided it's time to kind of step away, and some new judges coming in. So
That's true.
Very exciting.
For Jackson, George, and Greene County.
Absolutely.
On that ticket. All right,
Yep.
that takes us into our first break of the evening. When we come back, we're going to go to Gulfport. We're going to talk to Chris. Chris, good evening. What can we help you with?
Hey, Chris.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey.
First of all, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Flanagan, Mr. Metier, and Mr. Reeves. The knowledge that you guys tell the public is just priceless. And I can't thank you enough.
Well, Chris,
That's very
where can we
gracious.
get you to call next Saturday night?
That's very gracious of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Chris, what can we help
I'm not
you
sure
with
why Kenny's
tonight?
included in
I don't
there.
know either, but I'll
No,
take
no,
it.
No, not
I'll
at
take
all.
it.
We really appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for watching.
What you got on your mind, big guy?
What can we help you with?
Okay.
I hope we don't steer you wrong.
Next door to me, I live in a beautiful cul-de-sac here in College Park.
Okay.
And it has turned into, and I'm not going to name the name, a short-term rental.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it's either a nightclub or a hotel every day, every weekend. We've got kids, safety. You don't know who's there. I'm not concerned about the devaluation of property around here. What I'm concerned with is our neighborhood. Our neighborhood, everybody knows, we all know each other by first name. And is the city, can we do anything? Is the city council perhaps doing something with an open forum where neighbors are invited to speak about or object to this? And I'll hang up and I'll listen, gentlemen.
No, Chris, you stay on the phone here. You just stay on.
Well-
So I'm going to say, without saying a name, I think this would be like one of you go to a website and then you would book a house for a short period of time,
Sure.
and then you know.
Well, Chris, I can tell you, every city in the coast, they have there's an application process that you have to do to have short-term rentals and things like that. And they're also supposed to be noticed to the surrounding properties so they have an opportunity to object. In fact, I'm involved in that situation in Ocean Springs kind of currently. And but the short answer is, if your area is, for whatever reason, properly zoned for short-term rentals, there's not much you probably can do at this point. But the question is, did they go through that process correctly? Are they zoned correctly? Because I know in most cities, and I almost guarantee Gulfport's that way, is that when someone wants to do that, you have to put in, you have to put in an application. They have to give notice to all your neighbors. There's a hearing. You can come and object. And so, because the things you say are exactly a lot of the things that people feel about. Listen, I think there is a place for short-term rentals. I also think it's not for every neighborhood. Okay,
Right.
I mean, I'm with you. I have small children. I live on a very residential street. Short-term rentals it implies. Sometimes it can be a little raucous. A large crowd of folks, and that's not really consistent with a lot of neighborhoods. So I think that's a legitimate concern, and that's a concern that I think you're entitled to voice. So the question is, did they do it properly? Is it properly permitted? And if not properly permitted, then you can definitely stop it.
You can go back to the city.
You can go back to the city. You can complain, and listen, cities are good about usually enforcing their rules, so you can get that stopped for sure.
That is
So-
Matt, the show for tonight. When you're having fun, it goes so fast. But that is it for us tonight. We'll be back next Saturday night with Jim Reeves. We'll be taking more of your calls and questions on Law Call. But until then, my friends, good night.